Dear students, now we are into the final days of preparation for the CBSE board exam, and we have already discussed all the questions related to the chapters. And this videos that you'll be getting in these days, it's basically the questions that's formulated from the discussions between teachers. So who've been constantly working on this. Based on that, I'm giving you a few questions. On getting the question paper, if you thoroughly watch these videos, you will be getting these type of questions for the CBSE board exam. Section-wise analysis of questions will be there. MCQs, short answer type, long answer type, case-based questions will be discussed. Based on the chapters, based on the weightage, you will be getting questions. Pattern questions will be there. And you can expect these questions for the board. So make the maximum out of it. Revisit on all the questions that we have already discussed. And your teachers have given you a few questions. Rework on the questions related to the chapters. Connect the questions to the chapters, memorize the formulas connected to the chapters. It will be helping you for scoring good marks for the CBSE board exam. Good luck. Now you are familiar with the assertion reason type question. In the assertion reason type questions, two statements will be given to you. The first statement will be an assertion. Statement 2 will be the reason for the same. So the first statement can be considered the assertion. This is the reason for that. The options for these questions will be like statement 1 and statement 2, it's true. And 2 is the correct explanation for the first statement. That will be the first option. In that way, the second option will be statement 1 and 2, both are true. But statement 2, it's not the correct explanation for statement 1. And that will be the order. And third option will be first option, first statement is true, second statement is false. And finally, first statement is false and your second statement is true. That will be your final option. So here it's given the HCF of two numbers. As I told you that we are expecting one question based on the assertion reason type from real numbers. So it's given first statement as HCF of two numbers. It's given 90 and 144. And they have given the HCF of these numbers as 18 and LCM of these numbers it's 720. Now we need to look into this statement whether it's correct or not. For that we need to factorize 90 and 144 using FTA, fundamental theorem. So we need to prime factorize these numbers. So by prime factorizing the numbers, these numbers are divisible with 2. So you'll be getting 45. This is 72. Now these numbers are divisible by 3. You'll be getting 15. 72 on dividing with 3. You'll be getting 24. Again, you can divide these numbers with 3. So you'll be getting 5. And this will be 8. So we cannot continue the division. You need to stop here. So multiply these numbers. That will give you the HCF. So 2 into 3, we're getting 6. 6 into 3, it's 18. So the first statement's HCF, it's correct. And for these numbers, for finding the LCM, so you need to multiply this 18 that you are getting as HCF with the remaining numbers 5 and 8. Need not go for the factorization since you have only one as common factor in 5 and 8. So straight away multiply these numbers. So on multiplying 18 into 5, you will be getting 18 into 5, that's 90. So 90 into 8, you'll be getting 720. So LCM they have given, it's also correct. So the first statement is correct, and you need to look on to the second statement where it's given one reason for the same. It's given that the product of two numbers it's same as the product of LCM and HCF. So it's true. The first statement states that it's 18, and in the second statement they have given the reason for that. And in the question, there is one more thing that we can expect. They can even give the product of these numbers as 18. The product as 18, the numbers product will be equal to 90 into 144. This is actually the HCF and this is the LCM, and multiplying these two, you will get the product of these numbers. So that's regarding the first question that can be expected for this board exam. Now the second MCQ question that we are discussing, it's similar question related to the first one. It's from the same chapter, real numbers. This question is also an assertion reason type question. It's given the statement 1 assertion as if 11 divides 627,264. So 6,27,264. Then 11 divides 792. So that's the assertion. And the reason that's given here, it's if let P be a prime number and A be a positive integer. If P divides A square, then P divides A. This is actually the theorem that's given in your textbook. theorem 1.3, page number 12. This is very useful for you for solving questions related to irrationality, proof of irrationality. That too can be expected for a 2-mark question based on real numbers. So for this question, this is actually the theorem. 11 is a prime number and 11 divides, let this be that integer a, your 792 be a number, and the square of 792, if that is equal to 627264, what does that mean? 11 is a prime number. 11 will be dividing 792. So 792, it's divisible by 7. We can check that whether it is divisible by 11. Okay, 77, you will be getting 22. So that's 22. So finally 0, it's divisible by 7. Again, this number 627264, it's actually the square of 792. It's based on an assumption. If you multiply these two numbers, the number 792 two times, you will be getting the same number. And this number, it's again divisible by the same prime number, 11. That's possible. We can check that. So if it is 5, you'll be getting 55, then 7, 77. Bringing down that 7, you'll be getting 7. So that will be 77. On 2 will be, you can bring down the 2. It's not enough. So you can bring down 26. So on considering 26, that will be 2. So 22, you'll be getting here. 4 and 4, that will be 4. So 57024 will be the quotient. So that will be dividing this number. Again, one more thing you can check whether multiplying 792 on squaring 792, you will be getting that or not. So 22 will give you 4, 18, 1, 15, again with 9, 8, 1, 81, 82, 8. That will give you 63, 63 plus 8 will be 71. And finally it is 4, 1, and you will be getting that 63, 64, 6, 49, and that will be 55. Finally 4, 6, 1 will be the remainder. You will be getting 2 here. Again 6, 7. This will give you 2 and 6. Same number, 627, 264 you will be getting. And that's actually the square of 792. So what's given in the statement 2, it's true, and statement 1 is also true. So that, what does that mean? Both statement 1 and 2, it's true, and 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. So your option will be option A. So now we are discussing another assertion reason type question. It's from coordinate geometry. The assertion that's given here, it's if the centroid of a triangle having its vertices at, it's given the vertices of a triangle A, B, and C, and lies on the x-axis, then there is a relationship between A and B that is given as A plus B is equal to 3. That's actually the assertion. And the reason here, it's given like on y-axis, x coordinate of every point is 0. So that's known to you, right? So on y-axis, we'll be denoting every coordinate as 0y, and on the x-axis, each coordinate will be represented as x0. So the second statement is true, no doubt on that. Now we need to look whether the first statement is true. For that, we need to use the formula for finding the centroid. For finding the centroid G, centroid is actually the point of intersection of the medians. And we have the formula for finding the G as x1 plus x2 plus x3 all divided by 3, and y1 plus y2 plus y3 all divided by 3. A can be considered as x1, y1. So in place of x1, that can be replaced with 1. x2 can be replaced with 2, and x3 can be replaced with c square. But that's not our concern. We have this y coordinate. Moving on with the y coordinates, you can replace this y1 with a, and y2 can be replaced as b. Again, this y3 can be replaced as minus 3. So that will be a plus b plus minus 3 all divided by 3. So this is actually the coordinates of the centroid. But it's given that this lies on the x-axis. Coordinate is lying on the x-axis. So every point on the x-axis will be having the y-coordinate is equal to 0. So it will be of the form x0. So you can equate this part to 0. So that will give you a plus b minus 3 whole divided by 3 is equal to 0. That is a plus b minus 3 is equal to 0, and a plus b will be equal to 3. So the first statement is also true. Now look into these statements. We found that the second statement, the reason was true. but the reason is not the correct explanation for the assertion. Now, they have given the reason on y-axis, but our centroid is lying on the x-axis. So this is having some connection with y-axis, but here it's lying on the x-axis. They haven't given anything related to coordinate on the x-axis. So in place of this, if it was on x-axis, y-coordinate of every point will be equal to 0. If that was the reason instead of this, that can be considered as an explanation for the assertion. Even the formula can be considered as an assertion for the reason for the assertion. So since it's having no connection with the assertion, we cannot take this as the correct explanation for the statement 1. So your answer will be option B. Both 1 and 2 it's true, but 2 it's not the correct explanation for the assertion.